Hello, Flosstube. My name is Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches, and this is my Flosstube update number 258. Today is Saturday, November 19th, 2022. Thanksgiving is just around the corner. This coming Thursday, right? Or the Thursday after. I don't know. Today is the 19th. So let me look at my calendar here. Yeah, this coming Thursday, the 24th. I don't know why I was thinking it was the 27th. The 24th is Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to those of you who celebrate. And went to the attic today. I'll show you a little bit more about that. And I finished one of my WIPGO goals, and I'm working on the other one. Just started working on the other one today. And did a couple of other days of stitching. So I shall get started right away. So I worked primarily on my first WIPGO project, but then I interrupted myself a couple of days to work on really like a day and a half or whatever. I worked, I think, one full day, and then like in the wee hours of last night, I worked on this a little bit more. But this is the Erica Michaels Nativity Berry. I'm doing the smaller one. My sister is doing this larger one, but I'm doing the smaller one here. And this, I think this model was worked on silk gauze, which I'm not going to do. But yeah, so Joseph and Mary and the baby, and they're in a stable here, which is different from this one. You have Joseph, Mary, and the baby, but they're not in a stable. It looks very similar, and just there's a few differences between the two berries. But like this one has an angel, and this one doesn't. And this one has a stable and manger, and I think this one doesn't. But we'll see when they're finished side by side. So anyway, I worked a little bit on this nativity berry. I think I worked on it a little bit last time also. But so there's the manger, and there's half of the stable, part of the stable, not half, not quite half. And I finished the halos for Mary and Joseph with the baby. There's like a second color in there. And plus, I didn't do their faces yet because there are a couple of DMC options, and Joseph's beard is the DMC color. And I realized I had not pulled the DMC colors out. I had just pulled out the Fancy Floss for these, for them. Except I think these sheep, I don't know. Anyway, so there's always cat hair on everything. So, but yeah, so that's coming along, and there's Mary's robe. You can see it there. But so, yeah. So that's where that is now. Erica Michaels. And this is 25 count Lugana in the color Steel Blue from Hobby Lobby, and I'm doing 1/1 on that. So that's the Erica Michaels Nativity Berry. And then I talked about last week about I stitched one day for Veterans Day, but the rest of the time then I did the my WIPGO pull. I don't remember what number it is, but this is on the balcony. It's a picture of my two cats, and my sister Eve rendered it in cross stitch. It's one of my favorite pictures of them. Anyway, this is Puck, and this is Snug, and Puck is sitting on the table in my apartment, and Snug is out on the balcony itself. So, so this is 10 days on this project. So I did this, you could just see this lighter color here and the railing. So I did this corner. This is all done now. And I did a little bit of work on the rail on this side. I did this here because I had this lighter color and I just wanted to finish it off. This color appears again down here, but you know, I didn't have anything to count off of at that point. So, but I did that. And then Puck, I had done his, like, up part of most of his head last time, and I added a little bit. I went down and did this part of his body, but then I went ahead and did this gray because that's like where the table is between his tail and, you know, his tail is kind of curled around here. And I wanted to put that gray in there before I accidentally, like, you know, stitched over it or whatever. So, so I went down and did the cat. And so when I got to the bottom here, I realized I could count off, you know, and put the gray in for the tail. And then this is the table, and I didn't quite finish that or finish working on the black because I wanted to get this corner up here done. So that's 10 days. And then I just had you know, a piece of this thread left over. So I did a little bit of that. I just did half, you know, I didn't have enough to go back up, but I just wanted to finish that thread. So like I said, this corner is done. There's back stitching on the cat, of course, and stuff, but yeah. So yeah, and this side over here is just a straight line, you know, of stitching on that side. So yeah, so that's 10 days on the balcony. And then let me put this over here so I don't forget it. And so my other WIPGO pull is A Daily Walk in the Woods by Carol Manning Designs. This Sal I didn't buy it when they were doing the Sal originally. I think I bought it maybe a year later or something, or sometime later. But I think I bought this pattern back in 2017. And I worked on it, but then, of course, I realized that I had oriented the fabric wrong. I think I talked about this before. So, yeah, so it should have been, you know, this way, but it's not. But I think it'll probably fit, at least it'll fit very tight, but it'll fit, because this is basically the top. There might be, I think there's a few other trees that are a few stitches taller, but essentially that's the top. So it'll be tight, but it should fit. And this tree, you know, one corner of it was not finished yet. And so today, while I was working with my sisters on the Three Sisters video, Sticks and Strings, I finished this corner. So this tree is done. And so there's a little tree I mean a little, almost a bush. It's just like 6 maybe little stitches of, like, you know, 4 green ones, 4 green stitches for each leaf, and then one little red stitch, and then a back stitched trunk, you know, just a very, very sparse, kind of like, almost like this kind of, you know, that goes up here. And so what I want to do is work toward this this edge of the design. So there's like a few trees along this edge, you know, so I want to do that. There's a big tree over here somewhere, I think. So I just, you know, I have 10 days of stitching on this project. And since they're, you know, it's not solid, it's a whole bunch of little, you know, individual trees. Here it is right here. So I'm here on this tree. So this one I have the colors for. You know, there's it calls for a lot of different colors, and right now in the project bag where I have this was was this green here for this tree, and then I put the three colors that are involved here, the dark green, the red little specks there, and the brown for the backstitched trunk, basically. Those three colors were in the project bag that I had this in. And then and this tree is already done. So I think all I have to do to get to the edge here is this little thing, this tree, this big tree, and this tree here. And they go kind of fast because, you know, the trunks are fairly quick, and then you just have to, you know, to do the leaves and stuff. This is the big tree that's on this corner, and there's some mushrooms there. And yeah, so I would like, ideally, to do this whole side, but that's not going to happen because I think I haven't done all of these trees here. Well, you know, I've done like this one, and you know, but yeah, so we'll see how far I get. But I'd like to do this corner, if nothing else. You know, these three guys, and maybe, you know, in here somewhere. So we'll see how that comes along. But so, yeah, there's the Daily Walk in the Woods. And this is on, I think, 18 count Ada. Just a white basic thing. You know, this was, I can tell kind of, you know, the time period when I worked on these, because it, you know, I was still a couple of years away, I think, from dyeing my own fabric. And like at this point in my life, I pretty much never stitch on white fabric for whatever reason. I always feel it's like I can't stitch on white. I have to dye it somehow. And a matter of fact, I bought a couple of just little, you know, inexpensive kits that I intend to work on for gifts for various people. But I think I want to dye them a little bit. One of them maybe not, because it involves well, both of them involve a lot of colors, but I may just, you know, even if it's just a matter of like coffee dyeing or tea dyeing or the fabric or something, just to give it a little bit of something more interesting to look at than just plain white. The other one, one of them is kind of an off-white, so I may or may not do anything to that. Maybe I'll, you know, dip it in a little bit of, you know, some color like blue or green or something, like just to give it a little bit of flavor. So yeah, I just have a, you know, but this one, the Daily Walk in the Woods, I just did it on white fabric, and I kind of wish I had, you know, I didn't even, it didn't even occur to me to do anything different. But yeah, I just kind of like, I can't bring myself to stitch on white anymore. Anyway, so that's all I'm working on currently. Coming up in in December, of course, I know the two projects that are left on my WIPGO board. One of them is this gray wolf, it's called. It's very, very pixelated, and it's every gray and, you know, dark color there is, and hence the name Gray Wolf. So part of the problem there, and I think I want to prep it a little bit because of it's partway done. I started it many, many, many years ago, like probably in the late 90s or something, mid to late 90s. And it's very stiff, Ada, very stiffer than usual, very thick Ada, and it's kind of an off-white color. So but it's like I said, it's various shades of black, of grays, and maybe like a little bit of black, but I don't know, many colors of gray, and when I started it, I did not have a working copy with, and I didn't mark off any of the squares that I had worked on. So I don't think. So anyway, I did make a working copy when I started working on it again, several years ago, few years ago. And it took me a long time at that point to sort of look at the pattern and see which squares I had already done, so that I knew where I was, trying to find my place on that pattern. So I want to take some time to maybe look at it more closely again this time, give myself a little bit of time to just, even if I just take a colored pencil and mark in the squares that I've already done, so that I can find my place and find what color and whatever. And it's like it's a pretty good sized square, rounded off square. It's about that big, and it's full coverage of that area. So it's a lot of stitches. And I think the goal on that is also 10 days, and it's right before Christmas, so it's not going to be 10 full days. I'll probably have a couple of Christmas related things to do. I don't know. So that's one of the WIPGO pulls, and the other one is something else. Shoot. The other one is, why can I not think of it? Gray Wolf is one, and the other one is, let me see. Pardon me, excuse me, talk amongst yourselves. Here it is. Oh, Santa's House. It's another tiny modernist Sal. The Gray Wolf is I don't know, it's a booklet that I have from some other designer. But the Santa's House is a tiny modernist, and it's one of those that has several different rooms, and then there's a sort of a village around the Santa's house. And so I have the floors, the framework of the house and the floors, and I have just a little bit of stuff done on it. Like I said, I think it was a Sal, and I don't remember if I bought it while the Sal was still going on or if I bought it after the fact. But I think I bought it while it was going on, but I didn't keep up with it, and so I started it and I was doing okay, but I did not, stitch steadily on just that. So I quickly fell behind. But that's my other WIPGO pull. So, and the goal on that is also 10 days. So hopefully within there somewhere I'll finish at least maybe one room or something. I don't know. But so that's coming up. And again, I need to make sure I have all the threads that I need for that and everything. It had a lot of white, because of the snow, of course. So like I did several things that were snow related in various points. Like there's a little snowman and some, and a couple of reindeer I put in and all that. So maybe I'll work on the framework outside of the house itself. I don't know. We'll see. But that's what I'm looking forward to in December. Since November is almost over already. It's already the 19th, and, you know, excuse me for one moment. Lovely beverage. So, today, my sister and I went to the attic again. I did get a phone call. I talked about last week about how I had ordered the reindeer and the Mousecapades, the last Mousecapades number. And so I got a phone call about the reindeer, but not about the Mousecapades. So I went to the store and they had the reindeer set aside for me, but not Mousecapades. So I was just, you know, dangerously looking at stuff in the store and found a couple of things to buy. But I did see the Mousecapades there in the store, so I went ahead and bought it there. And, you know, it was just a mix-up in the ordering process. But so anyway, I went ahead and bought it. So I've got my two patterns that I was looking for. And I mentioned that I had ordered some threads through embroidery.com. So this one is WIPGO Works Thistle. And these are, I was looking for this antique rose, and I bought 3 skeins of it because of the pattern that I bought it for has a lot of red, and it calls for, it's supposedly 3 skeins of this, and I don't know if it, you know, but it's best to err on the side of caution, you know, so I went ahead and got 3. And this is Shaker White. This is used in some pattern. I don't know if it's the Nativity berry or what pattern it's for, but yeah, it's one of those that I bought specifically. And also this Brethren Blue, it's such a beautiful color. But I remember that some time ago, like for some reason it was very popular and nobody could keep it in stock or get a hold of it or whatever. So when I saw it, I thought, you know what? I want that color. So yeah. I don't know anybody right now that is that calls for it for anything, but I went ahead and got it because it's so gorgeous. And you know, and then today when I was at the attic, I bought this for a pattern. One of the patterns that I bought here is WIPGO Works Brick. And I got a little, when I first saw it, I thought, wait a minute, don't I have that? No, I have it in Gloriana Silks. They have a color called Brick. But this is WIPGO Works. And then one of the patterns that I bought calls for 2 skeins of Kentucky Bluegrass. I think is what this is. Yeah, Kentucky Bluegrass, which is a sort of a blue-green. So like I said, I bought some patterns while I was there, that besides the ones that I had ordered. This is Christmas Star by Cottage Garden Samplings. The same Vinniey P.S. Tan that designed the Year in the Woods and other things for Cottage Garden Samplings. And that's a big fat Santa. Really cute. Putting the star on the Christmas tree. Pardon the glare. There's a couple of squirrels, a couple of cardinals, a couple of, I can't see, some other kind of bird. Yeah, and then, oh, there's a bunny over there. And some, looks like, I want to say, let me put it up here so I can see. Snowflakes and Christmas, and a bunch of trees, little white trees, and then that big Christmas tree. And there's the big Santa on top, putting the star on the tree. So there's that, really pretty. And then I found this is a Silver Creek Samplers Kringle Flying Academy And it says rooftop landings since, I want to say 1823. It's hard to see in here because of the glare. But here in red, rooftop landings since, I don't know when, I can't read it. Something like 1823, I think it says. Yeah, 1823, I think. Anyway, so there's Santa riding on Rudolph. Big moon back there. So, yeah, I think that's really pretty. I don't know when I'm going to get around to stitching these. I don't know. Christmas comes every year. And then the reason I went to the attic was to get the reindeer. It's so beautiful. Look at those antlers. Oh my gosh. Gorgeous. That big head on the deer. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Yeah. So now I have all 12. So I don't know, maybe next year. I'm like I said, I'm trying to decide what I'm doing for my WIPGO next year. Probably a combination, again, like I said last time, a combination of some FFOs and maybe shorter stitching goals on whatever gets pulled, whatever whips get pulled, and then that frees me up for several days of stitching on whatever I want, you know, new starts and other whips and whatever. But then I found the number 7, the Mousecapades number 7, called Happy Christmas, designed by Misty Pursel for Luminous Fiber Arts. So there's the big mouse. So I have, you know, the other 3. So I mean the other 6. So there's 1, 2. The suggestion they have is 1, 2, and 3 up here, 4, 5, and 6, and then this 7 to connect them all. So there's Rudolph, and 2 more reindeer, and there's Santa Mouse. And these gifts are flying down to the houses below. There's one there, and yeah, so these are sideways because they're, you know, coming down, and these 2 are coming out of the sled for these houses below. And it's just really cute, really pretty. And yeah, really cute. And I think these are a combination of DMC, Weeks, and Classic Colorworks colors. Yeah, that's really pretty. So I've got all my things, and I subscribe to the Luminous Fiber Arts newsletter, and so as a thank you for all of her followers for her newsletter and everything, she sent a free pattern for this little gift tag ornament kind of thing called Frosty. It's a monochromatic design, and you can do it like this in red on white. And I think it's only 62 by 45, so it's pretty small. And the model here was stitched with 2 strands over 2 on 32 count. So this is white linen by Zweigart, and she used red. I think, yeah, ribbon red from Classic Colorworks. But it has also the, you know, some finishing instructions on here. But so, and this finish with the little rounded edge there and everything else is, she also used it on a couple of other designs. She has Sweet Christmas 1 and Sweet Christmas 2. And she has a tutorial for that, finishing process on YouTube. And so yeah, so I went ahead and printed this off. Really cute. So I think that is all that I had. And like I said, I am in the process of thinking through my WIPGO board for next year. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do it again. It's a little bit of, what's the word I want? You feel like maybe not exactly obligated, but you know what I mean, committed to, I want to do this. But it's good in a way because, it gets you to work on those things instead of just letting them languish. Work on those whips more, and if nothing else, do a little bit of work on them, even if you don't finish them. To do 5 days, 10 days, whatever, on them. And these are patterns that I hadn't looked at in a while, but they're ones that I have wanted. I still want to finish. Like I saw somebody's post where this person was just like not feeling it anymore, and not in love with it, don't feel like finishing it, and so she was basically gonna, pitch it, cut the fabric, cut off the fabric for what she had finished, and use the rest of the fabric for something else, and like, people were suggesting, hey, just like cut out this motive and use it for, something else, or make a little, a little pin pillow, or make, do something small with these, individual finishes, perhaps, or whatever. Or use the little piece that you'd finished, to make a small pillow, or to, do something with it. And so, so there is a sort of, some people who just said, don't want to finish that, not interested in it anymore, or whatever. And I don't think I have any pieces that that I feel that way about, that I don't want to finish. But I think there are some things that I feel more interested in than others. But I do want to put some of these other things, these old things, again on my WIPGO board again. Things that that I worked on for 10 days or so, but didn't finish. I want to keep working on them, but I don't want them to dominate my time so much that I don't get anything else done, because I have like a whole big giant stack of things I haven't started yet, kits I haven't done yet, things I've partially kitted up, at least with fabric, but no threads, that that I want to start, but I haven't done. That Year in the Woods, I've got all the patterns now, and I've got fabric for most of them, maybe half, less than half, I don't know, about half of them. And so I want to start those, because they're beautiful. Those animals are beautiful. But so I want to work out time to start things, as well as time to work on whips or whatever, and to try to figure out some logical way to go about that. Put them on that WIPGO board and do those, as well as just doing random other stuff that I want to do. So I'm thinking of something like, maybe every Monday I can have a new start, or something, which would give me a whole bunch of whips. but work on those in addition to whatever I do for finishing other whips. So I don't know. My part of my brain wants to work on that idea, and part of it says, "Meh, I don't want to. I don't care." but I do want to put some time in and think through it. You know, in many ways, you know, I always think, oh, I want to start that. Oh, I want to buy that. Oh, I want this pattern. And then I get to where I've forgotten that I have these things. I'm like, oh yeah, when am I going to get around to doing that? And, you know, we've talked before about, you know, Sable, right? Stash acquired beyond life expectancy. And I'm definitely in that camp. And I've even, like, you know, as I've said before, I've given away several things. I gave away several patterns months ago, I guess. And I may do that again. I may find some, you know, because part of me is itching to sort of go through and you know, reorganize the patterns that I have, and maybe I'll come across things that I no longer want to do. I don't know. Because I keep finding new things that I want to do. So, you know, and like I know I do have quite a few that I have not done yet. Some that I've tried to organize, and some that are just, you know, added to the stack, if you will. So we'll see. So anyway, I have, you know, 10 days of daily walk in the woods, and somewhere in there is Thanksgiving and some other things, so I'll be busy. But I'm hoping today is the first day. Today is the 19th, so by the 28th-ish, 29th probably, with Thanksgiving in there. You know, we're all going to be very busy on Thanksgiving, and so. But hopefully by no later than the 29th, you know. So I have one day left to do something else, and then there's December, and I kind of want to do maybe do some Christmas related stitching, but we shall see. I don't know what my December is going to look like. I had thought about doing some stitching, stitchy gifts for December, but I don't know that I'm really going to have the time to do that. I haven't decided yet. So we shall see. Okay, so I will. This is, you know, another sort of shorter video because I don't have a whole lot going on, but I think that, yeah, I'll see you next week. I should, you know, be able to go ahead and film on Saturday. And with Thanksgiving in the way, you know, we'll see what will have transpired by next Saturday. And next Saturday is the 26th. So yeah, I'll have a few more days of stitching on the daily walk in the woods left, and we'll see what happens. So I think that's, yeah, that's all I have for this week, and I will see you next week. Oh, also, before I forget, if you want to check out our Etsy shop that I have with my sisters, Three Sisters Creative, is the name of the Etsy shop, and the name of there's three of us together. And we are having a sale for the month of November, 30% off of a purchase of $50 or more. So if you want like a project bag set, you know, there's a project bag and a notions pouch and a needle minder, scissor fob, things like that. You know, if you purchase that sort of thing, you can get it 30% off, whatever. So yeah, so check that out, and maybe you'll find something there that you like, and you know, you might buy it as a gift for some stitching enthusiast in your life or for yourself. So check that out. Three Sisters Creative. The link will be in the description box below. So check it out. And as well as, go feel free to leave comments, and my email address is in the description box below. And let me know what you think, what you like, whatever. And I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.